Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is my complete beginner's guide to astronauts, and we're working with build 14 at this point. In the previous episode, we did a little bit of rearranging after expanding out our dream a little bit, and we're going to do a little bit more of that here. Initially, my plan was I was going to go do some salvaging in this mission, but then I had that pain thing happening and I went and kind of started to deal with that and then realized it was something we hadn't ever talked about. So first, let's take a quick tour around some of the things I did. I basically cleaned up and I have renamed some of these containers. This is the wall rack. This has all walls in it right now. This is, I didn't name this one actually yet. It's the corner rack. What I'm starting to store in here are the excess supplies like mechanical parts and motors and things like that. Ultimately, I will need more space for that than this will hold. But for now, we're early on. We can kind of just drop it all in there. I cleaned up all the bags that we had and I put a couple of them. I guess we can go look at this. What am I doing? I put them in here. I put all the power tools in here that we're hanging on to, although we'll probably get rid of those soon. And as soon as, well, not as soon as, when you can afford a second Weber torch, you no longer have any need at all for the welder, the grinder, or the solderer. And I'll end up selling those. The reason I'm holding on to them for now is if I buy a crew member who needs tools, they can use those tools. That's really the point there. And I'm putting batteries in here for now. And then in this bag, I think I have the conduit. No, yeah, I do. I have conduit and lights are in here. And your guy is smart enough. I installed this light here just by doing an install and clicking there. It was smart enough to go and get the light out of there and install it. It didn't have to be sitting on the floor next to it or anything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yes. So to deal with the health crisis that I'm undergoing with the pain, I went and I bought some things from the from the medical care desk. And then I realized after doing it, I don't think we ever talked about that desk. So we should go do that real quick. And then we'll do some more cleanup in the ship and kind of do a little bit more rearranging, prepare for our next journey. Okay, well, so I went ahead and I'll show you what I bought. I bought pain relief pills. These are the cheaper ones. They're about $220 per bottle. And they have, if you do an inventory on them, they have 16 pills in them. I did go ahead and take one. I don't know what the effects are of taking like multiples of these things. I would assume that that's not necessarily a good thing, but this did reduce the bar a little. He was in severe pain. You'll notice his face isn't quite as grunty and he's doing a little better now. Also, I bought some hygiene wipes. These packs, I think they have, I don't remember how many are in each one, but as we use those, he can clean himself up and it will help quite a bit. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll freshen up now. Low need, but he could still do it. Uh-oh. Can't get to hygiene pack. Yes. I think you actually have to be holding it in order for that to work. So there we go. Yep. He can do that. I'm wondering if it'll clean up his shirt. If not, we're probably going to want to get another shirt because that's just a mess, isn't it? Okay, and he's all done. And what it does is it does produce a piece of trash. And it looks like, oh, I guess you only get one of those per each. I was thinking they were packs. Well, it is a pack, but it's a single-use pack. So, okay, no problem there. If you might recall in a previous episode, we found the Gravisign. We won't need that for a while, but it is helpful when you're shipping to another planet like Venus, which I hope we do go and visit eventually. We'll see where fate takes us. And why am I on G there? There we go. So I have that in here. This crate had a few things in it, some spare parts. I went ahead and emptied that and I put those spare parts over here as discussed. And then this has become food and water for now. I was doing that in here, but this is now a medicine cabinet. I have the water. I have a couple of trenchers, and we are going to go buy some food. I meant to do that. So we'll do that on our way to check out self-care. So self-care is a kiosk, and it is on the commercial level. We're going to go down there real quick. How about that? and it's just right here. This is the self-care desk, and you have trade there. You can buy stuff. I bought I bought a toothbrush, and I'll show you that in a minute and how to use that. I bought a couple of, wow, I guess it's all gone now. I bought some of the pain relief pills, but I bought the cheaper ones. I thought there were more than two of them when I bought them. Oh, there they are. Yeah. So if you roll over these, a common over-the-counter pain reliever in pill format. So I'm guessing this is ibuprofen or aspirin or something like that. Then you have this one, which is hydrocodone, and a prescription painkiller in pill format, rated most likely to be stolen from a party host's medicine cabinet. So it's obviously going to be much stronger. I didn't buy that just yet. I'm assuming that can lead to a downside. I don't know for sure, but that's my guess. And I wanted to see how well we manage the pain with the cheaper one to begin with. So he's comfortable now. It says his pain is going up. And once it goes up to a certain level, we'll try another dose. And then this is where I also bought hygiene packs. There they are. They're $187 each. Wow. I really did. I thought there were like 5 uses in each one or something like that. Clearly that's not the case. And we might be able to sell our trash back to them. That's kind of fun when you can do that. Nope, they won't take it. The scrap desk will take your trash though, believe it or not. Okay, so that is where we do that. Now, the other thing you might have noticed, is there's also medical services. And let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll go to medical services, and there's a few things we can do. We can do a nano-robotic first aid. And if we click this and then confirm, it will not buy it right away. It'll tell us there's a cost to it, and it will treat injuries with a nano-robotic injection that simulates wound healing and immune response to infection and some diseases for a handful of hours. It only shows us things that it will allow us to do. And when it says that here, it's talking about over here. So we can pay for the nanorobots, and we will pay $2,500, or we can go look and do something else. And I think that's what we're going to do. I don't know that I don't think this helps with just standard pain. It's possible it does, but I don't think it does. And part of the reason I think that is if we back out and we look at remove scar or chronic ailment and confirm that for $250,000, we don't have to know how they do it. It's just easier to transfer the money. Yeah, I kind of agree and hope for the best. And if we only options we can do are listed, and as you'll notice, there are no options listed. We can't afford it. But I have a feeling that this is where, and I have used this in the past. It's been a long time. I only used it once. I had like a chronic pain that was messing with one of the, I can't remember. It was impacting some of the gameplay. And I'm like, well, that's something you want to clean up. I don't really care if my character has a scar, but the scar is impacting his ability to do something. Well, then I might want to work on that. And that's what I did. It's been a long time. I don't remember what that was, but ultimately that's what I used it for. And it removes that ailment is what it is. So if we jump out of here and we open up our little dude, we have some things here like strained back. Sometimes he's visually impaired. You can get your vision fixed. I don't know about insomniac, if that's one you can fix or not, but ultimately he might have these things. A lot of times, depending on your character creation, how deep you go into that, you'll end up with scars and things like this. Work slowed due to minor pain. That's one of the reasons we'd want to eventually get rid of the strained back issue if it isn't permanent. And that is maybe a reason to try the healing thing. Maybe I should go ahead and do that. We do have a little bit of cash, and we do have the ability to go and get some more cash pretty quickly. In fact, that's the next step after we finish what we're doing today. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try it. Let's see if it does anything for us. Hopefully it does. And if it doesn't, well, we all will have learned a lesson. So this was the nano-robotic injection, $250, pay for nano-robotic first aid. There it is. You sign away your right to protest both the exorbitant prices and any potential side effects, then grit your teeth and suffer through the necessary procedures. If you play, what is that called? Dark Days Ahead. Cataclysm, Dark Days Ahead. Suddenly, all of a sudden, you grow a second head or things like this. I'm hoping that's not what they've incorporated in here. All right, we're going to leave because we're done now. And let's see. So Well, his back pain isn't all that much better. Let's see if it helped anything here. Immunostimulant. Okay, so it looks like that's more about infections. And that's fine. It probably was more self-evident than I realized. I was hoping maybe it'll help with like muscle recovery or whatever. Strained back, slowed due to pain. Yeah. Used nano-robotic first aid. There's probably a limit to how often you can do that. I don't see used painkiller though. So I don't know. Maybe I can slam those down a little more liberally. We'll see. For now, he's slowed. He's not like incapacitated or anything, so we're not going to worry about it. Let's go do the few things on the ship we're going to do today. It's all pretty quick stuff, but again, just there was a discussion of just folks not understanding what the purpose was about, the ship and being able to reorg stuff. And I just going to impress some ideas that I have kind of used in the past. So one thing we're going to do here, I like this idea of maintenance corridors on my ship eventually. We don't have enough stuff yet to do it. But if you look at this, when you have like canisters like this that are injecting air, they take up space. You can't put any, well, you can put something under this, but you can't walk through these exactly. You kind of have to walk around them. Crates you can walk over. That's why we're able to do that. But you'll notice he didn't make a sharp turn and come straight down. He had to kind of walk around. Whereas if we do this, he comes straight through that because he can pass through it. The reason I'm mentioning this is I like the idea of building these corridors that are 3 spaces wide. And then on each side, you have your row of these things that impact that can be used, and then they can disperse their oxygen or nitrogen through the hallway into the livable areas. And then it's just a maintenance corridor that is available to you if you need it, but generally you don't use it. I like that idea quite a bit. Not enough space yet to do that. We need more stuff before we can. For now, what we're going to do is we're going to uninstall this. And in fact, I think maybe, well, okay, it's going to go kind of quick. We'll uninstall this. Why are you doing that? We are going to actually go and uninstall all of this wall here and all of this conduit here. I think that'll do what I want it to do. And we're going to auto task and let him get to work. We're just going to move stuff around just a little bit is what it comes down to. And low pressure alert. Yeah, we kind of would expect that because we disconnected it, didn't we? All right. Now, for now, I'm going to, okay, well, we're too far down. He'll finish that up. And I'm going to pause him. I'll take him off auto task. He's trying to restore wall, which is great. I want him to, oh, well, yeah, let's go ahead and have him do that. I wonder if it's that wall that nope. Okay. Yeah, so I'm noticing I like turning off fog of war, which is F1. And when you use the visor, it disables the fact that you've turned that off. It comes back on. You have to redo it. Just my old eyes. It's the reason I prefer doing that. And I just like to be able to see the stuff. So we're going to come over here and we're going to clean up our mess of conduit. We will probably end up reusing this conduit pretty quickly, but I just want to stack it. And then we're actually going to reinstall this wall. So we're going to install this one right here. And we're going to do that with a couple of them is really what it comes down to. I'm just doing it manually instead of setting it up as an order. And I think we'll do one more. Right there. And I'm kind of trying to decide. I also thought about maybe I should move it over some. That might not have been the worst idea, but it'll be fine. This is temporary. As you can see, it's fairly easy to manipulate all this around once you're kind of in the flow of how it works. Oh, I know what I was going to do. That's right. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to install this here. I was going to install it here and move the CO2 alarm, which isn't really doing anything for us right now anyway. So we're going to uninstall that. We don't have a CO2 scrubber. I think the only thing it could do is really alert us if we have a problem. And maybe we could put on our suit or something if that happens. And then we're going to slow down a little bit. I'm going to install this one right here. Did we just get the 5? Yeah, we just got the alarm. That's what that was. So let's pay our bills real quick. That was the alert that said, warning, shift coming to an end, unpaid debt. And we're going to want to take care of that. So we're going to more than one selected. Okay, paid. We have paid off our debts for this last time, for this last shift, and we're good to go. And let's let him finish installing that wall. Oh, I think I was late. Yeah, that's on me. Okay, and then we're going to put this guy back in, just further down. And I don't know that it matters which direction we put it in this case, because we're going to have an open architecture for the time being. Eventually, we want to close off the bridge because that will give us, that improves the value of the ship by quite a bit. But for now, we don't really need to worry about that too much. And we'll go ahead and install this N2 tank. And there we have it. Now, real quick, I had mentioned this. Let's go ahead and install. That's the wrong order. We're going to install, under power is where you find lights. And I'm going to do, so I have the multi-set lights. So instead of selecting a blue light, I'm going to select blue setting. And that knows that I mean one of those lights that has the multi-setting. And you'll notice he went over here. He got it out of the container, the rack, and the bag that it was in the rack, and now he's installing it. Or is he? It says he installed it. Now I'm confused. I guess it's not on. It's turned off. Okay. All right. Well, that makes me feel a little better. Why isn't the light coming on? So you should be able to light. Why didn't it come on? I'm unclear. Oh, there's no power. That's why. There's no conduit there. So we will want to install one piece of conduit right there. We should just uninstall this one. That's my plan. And you notice he picked up the whole stack. That's not uncommon. He tends to do that. So as soon as that conduit's in there, the light should come back on. And there it is. And then we can turn the light on and off manually. If we go to here, we can change the color, make it red. And I guess we can't turn it on and off that way. You have to disconnect it, I guess. Or we can set it up on the switch box. So just some options there. And I don't see set to blue. Is it currently blue? Did it not set to red? I can't really decide if it's changing or not. Okay, maybe the nav station is blocking it more than I realized. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Not seeing what I thought I would, but that's okay. It's probably doing it the right way. I'm just different expectation. And then finally, we'll pick that up. The other thing I kind of wanted to do is I forgot that one of these racks had a thruster in it. This is that thruster. I want to go ahead and install it. And normally you don't want to block things in case you have to get to them. But installers, particularly once your skills are up a little bit, they're pretty quick to install and uninstall. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. I'm blocking this thruster with this thruster. I can't get to this spot anymore. So if this thing gets damaged, I'll have to uninstall this thruster to get to it, or the battery, frankly. I'll have to uninstall something to get to it to repair it, or I'll have to go outside to repair it from the outside. Just something to note, it's not a real big deal. You notice that is now online and good to go. We now have more thrusters. So we should, if we start to navigate, we should see that we have considerable more force when we're doing it because we've added 2 now. We had 2 thrusters before, 1 here and 1 here, and we've added 2 more. And we also added an intake, although we don't have fuel for one of them just yet. But we will get to the point where that is done. I'm trying to think if there was anything else to look at. We do have a few wall sections, I think, here still. Yeah, on this guy. And I'm just going to, whoops, I meant to drag him. And I missed that. Pick up. We're just going to put him down here for now. Oh, I'll drop him. Yeah, that's close enough. So we have quite a bit of space to store stuff now, which is helpful. And of course, we can put things on the cart as well. If I really wanted to, well, it's not even if I really want to, I could go ahead and take the flooring that's in this. And yeah, I kind of wanted it to be on this side. There we go. And I can put this in one of these lockers as well, although it's going to be mislabeled. That's not a problem. We'll go ahead and drop it in here for now. Oh, there's not enough space in that one. And there probably isn't in the other one either, now that I think about it, unless, oh no, I was using bags there, wasn't I? Yeah, so we could probably get some of that flooring over there. And then it's out of the way, and that cart is completely open for use when we are ready to go and do some more salvaging. All right, there we go. Notice that his pain level is coming down now. That's kind of good to see. So I guess the medicine took a little bit to kick in, but it's helping. We'll see where that ends up. Okay, so we have moved some stuff around. We moved a wall a little bit to give it a little bit better aesthetic. One last thing. This pump is not attached. No green light. And that's because there's no power. I did it again. So we're going to do an install, power. Come on, there we go. Conduit right there. I usually just line the walls with power as I'm building them. I kind of didn't do that this time. I tend to think that just works out well. It doesn't hurt anything. And that way you don't have to go hunting for it later. So I usually just line all of the walls with conduit. I think that makes good sense. Oh, frankly, that CO2 alarm wasn't on either, was it? Come to think of it. Should have noticed that. There we go. That should do it. And good to go. So now this guy is on. I don't hear him, but maybe we're okay. Well, we're probably okay. We're not seeing an alert on the icon that anything is off. So there you have it. We will come back. We'll do a little bit more salvaging and maybe start to build out a stateroom for him. And that way we can start talking about doing longer voyages. The other thing we're going to eventually want to do is put a reactor in this thing. That way we can do some interplanetary travel. And I'm looking forward to that. I do want to thank you for joining me on this fun journey of astronauts. And until next time, fair travels.